Dumpster Goblins. I'm the host now. I stole it from Tyler. I took the crown. We fought to the death. He's dead now.
Ooh, the ghost of Tyler is here, though, to still be a part of this podcast.
Didn't do a good enough job.
We did what we could. I like how, yeah. It's your third host. It's me. It's your boy. I have been
currently alive,
vacationing.
Dan.
Yeah, very alive, Dan.
Yep.
Yeah, but anyway, let's get into it, because I spent too much time this week watching a children's television show for children, for literal children.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, a couple, actually.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. The first one, I don't know if you guys have watched at all, and I was wondering if I can get some input, or like if you guys' opinions. I watched a lot of the new Pokemon, not new, but the Pokemon Sun and Moon anime.
Oh, I haven't watched it, but Chris watched it, and he said he really liked it.
Yeah. And I haven't watched Pokemon at all since, like, you know, the original.
Yeah, see, I was a little bummed out because what was it, Black and White? What was the one where he has the Greninja? That was super awesome.
X and Y.
X and Y, yeah. Because like that one had some like super hype fight scenes, like some crazy hype fight scenes. And then I was a little bummed to hear that Sun and Moon was going to be a little less about like combat, more about less about battling, more about just like goofy fun times.
Yeah, it's a weird and. Yeah, I don't know. Tyler, you don't watch Pokemon still, do you?
I didn't know. I have not watched Pokemon since is Ash Ketchum and Brock still on the show? Because that's the last time.
Really?
Okay.
I don't think.
Well, Brock was for an episode.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because they go back to Kanto for a bit, right?
Yeah. So I watched the first. Netflix calls it a season. It's like the first.
Yeah.
A lot of episodes.
Is it all on Netflix?
Yeah, the 2 seasons of Sun and Moon up until the Ultra Adventures arc, where they fight Ultra Beasts. It's fun. Like, I'll lead in.
One thing I will say is that they simplified the character models so that the way the animation can be super springy, and I really like that. That's why my favorite part about it is that like because of the simplified designs, they can get a lot like bouncier with the animation. Just like that's the only way I can describe it. It's just like they're a lot cleaner. Like Ash is a lot cleaner. He doesn't have nearly as many complex bits to him. So like when he's animated, he's really animated.
Yeah. And I know it was a thing. I'm sure both of you guys saw it when they first kind of showed images for what the Sun and Moon art style was going to look like. People hated it.
Yeah, I see, because like if you look at a still, I do think it doesn't hold up very well compared to the other ones, but like again, if you look at it in motion, it looks great. So like I don't know, people are silly. Yeah, for something to put it in terms, people really like to compare it to that pain fight. Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to. Sorry, I don't mean to interject.
Yeah, again. No, come on in. I wanted to get you going on this again.
Fucking. I've probably been on this rant before, but when people take stills out of anime and then they're like, "Oh man, this anime looks like shit because this one frame looks like trash," like then I'm just like, I like have a little stroke because like fucking what is an in between frame? I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't complain. Like whenever anyone pulls up those super pictures. Like, not saying Super is a great looking show, especially in the beginning, because it isn't, but like...
Oh, yeah, no.
If you take any anime where there's a lot of motion, and then you take a still out of it, it's going to look like crazy nonsense, because, you know, there's a thing called, like, you can stretch people, you stretched animation, like stretch and squish, so like, when you're moving quickly, they're not going to move proportionally, because it doesn't look very good.
Well, yeah, and I was going to say, too, it's like also, like, I kind of like going off model for, like, stretch animation. Like, Konosuba is the immediate... Have you watched Konosuba yet, Tyler?
Konosuba, I remember watching the beginning of it. I need to actually go back and watch the entire thing.
Yes, you do.
You do.
Yeah, you do. We don't do positive challenges anymore. We're going to get into that later. But Tyler, watch Konosuba. It's the funniest show I've seen.
Yes, like, watch ReZero while you're at it.
Because it's sad.
Okay, sure.
I haven't actually watched ReZero.
ReZero is awesome, and I one day I'm going to make you two watch it.
I have seen ReZero.
Okay, I'm gonna make Dan watch it then.
Yeah, I don't know why
ReZero is awesome.
Yeah.
When is the second season? Like, it's coming this year, right?
Late this year. Like, I think it's like fourth quarter this year, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Once the hit sensation Isekai Quartet wraps up.
Yes.
But actually, I don't hate that show.
Yeah, but
I haven't watched it, but
Pokermans though.
Yeah, I can talk a little more on it. So it's very much more a slice of life school type show. I don't know. It's got a lot of things going on. They end every episode almost with like a Power Ranger like Z moves thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. I laughed unironically at it, like out loud, more than I should have.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely different. It's very different than the Pokemon we grew up with, which means it's terrible.
Yeah, it's different. I hate it.
Yeah, give me back Misty. She was
she
my
shows
wife.
up too. My Wi-Fi son. But yeah, no, I'd recommend, like, if you even have kind of, because, you know, I have a pretty big interest in Pokemon still as a grown man. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's not, you don't even have to qualify that anymore. Like, Pokemon's fucking everywhere.
Yeah, but, you know, people are still just going to sit there Pokemon.
I was driving down Lansing. I was like on Washington, and we were driving past, and we actually had to stop in the middle of the road because people playing Pokemon Go were like getting in the middle of the fucking road.
And in this year?
Yeah, this was like last week.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I shit you not. Then we just had to look around like while we were stopped, and we looked every single sidewalk, like both of us, both like beside us and like in the intersection. There were like tons of people all looking on their phones, all walking in directions, and we were like, they're playing Pokemon Go. They're playing Pokemon Go right now. Oh lord. Everyone's playing. Everyone I can see is playing Pokemon Go right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Tyler there. I agree. I didn't think that was a thing that happened now.
Me either. Yeah. I thought that was over. I thought it was done. But it isn't. Like, no, Pokemon Go is every fucking where still somehow. I don't know how. I don't get it.
I remember when it first came out, and there was like a park in Lansing that there was like 3 stops all within like a spot you could sit, and somebody just set up a projector and started selling like Pokemon merchandise and playing the movies, and everybody just sat there in the park.
No, that was a thing. People were making money off of like little Poke Centers or things at Poke Stops that were super popular.
Yeah,
so you
and
just sell bottled water and
shit. Or
shit.
like whenever anybody would say like, oh, a Dragonite's over here, you'd see like these giant like crowds of people just running and running to wherever like the Dragonite was. Like shit was crazy, and I guess it's still pretty popular. I just didn't know. Like, if that had not happened, I would have probably said Pokemon's not a thing. Pokemon Go is not a thing anymore. But Pokemon Go is apparently, I've been told, still very much a thing. And that's why I'm like, man, I think anybody can be everyone. Like, if you're a Pokemon fan these days, I feel like it's just whatever at this point.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, that makes it better, but I guess I'm more so still watching the TV show.
You watch it. Yeah, watching the TV show is probably a little less chic.
Yeah.
Whatever. Fuck those people.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. Either way, I recommend. I kind of can talk all the show. It's a fun slice of life with characters that if you have played Sun and Moon or Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, you recognize the characters. So you're like, it's a show with things I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
But is Mimikyu in it?
Actually, yeah, Mimikyu joins up with Team Rocket and hates Pikachu, which I love.
Good, yeah. That's fantastic. I fucking love Mimikyu. Mimikyu's like my favorite Pokemon from Sun and Moon.
Yeah, oh my god, actually, a quick thing on Team Rocket. Team Rocket in Sun and Moon, because it's Jesse James, Meowth, and Wobbuffet.
Yeah, I mean, that's been like that for a while. So.
Well, Wobbuffet was gone for a while, then came back, by popular demand.
Who doesn't like Wobbuffet, right?
Did Wobbuffet even do anything except for just say Wobbuffet?
Wobbuffet!
I think it used counter one time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
on the paper.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure every time he just interrupted Meowth a lot, I guess. That was his gig.
We don't know how to finish a scene.
Wow.
Wabba wabba.
Wabba wabba.
What great comedic writing.
Yeah. It's better than that, I swear. But yeah, Team Rocket.
I'm just imagining that, like, every fucking, all the fucking scenes, every time Team Rocket's on screen, they just, like, a long, awkward pause followed by wabba wabba.
Just the fucking, like, dun 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 dun. Whoop.
I'm just imagining the entire writer's room is just like all high-fiving as they like finish that scene.
Like, man, good episode, guys. We really got on that time.
Boys, we did it. We did it.
Man, if only the rest of the writing team hadn't died in that tragic fire. But it's okay. We got this gig going. Wabba wabba.
Am I right? God, just with a t-shirt. They would be selling a Wabba Wabba t-shirt. But yeah, I was just saying real quick, the Jesse and James and Team Rocket, they go from like actually, like, you know, they used to be like, oh, we're doing kind of evilish things,
sure,
to like cartoon villain evil, but like that. But this
I heard
is even
that
just
Ash fucking
less that.
I heard Ash fucking sucks in this one. Cause like just like to go off that, because like doesn't like Jesse and James like beat the shit out of Ash like a lot?
They beat him. They almost beat him a couple of times.
Yeah, like
also Team
Ash
Skull is
really
in it.
Just fucking sucks.
Yeah, Ash is bad, but I mean, I don't know. They explain it every generation how it's like, oh, hey, you have a Pikachu who's been with you forever, and it lost to a Snivy.
Even though it was fighting in the fucking Grand Trey was fighting a goddamn Ultra
Yeah, it
Charizard.
fought a Latias and a Darkrai. It beat a Darkrai, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But a Snivy.
Didn't in the Pikachu movie where he talks, doesn't he like thunderbolt so hard it changes reality or some shit?
I don't know. I didn't actually see that movie.
I skimmed through that movie just to see that one part where Pikachu talks.
The end of it?
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's... I don't know. The Team Rocket, they go to more to like comically inept, not even evil, and I love it.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Also, Team Skull is in it, and they're just Team Skull was my favorite part of Sun and Moon.
Yes, because they're barely villains.
They don't do anything. They're basically just like teenagers that hang around a skate park.
Yeah, they don't they literally don't even want to fight you most of the time. They're just even the leader. He just wants to be the strongest. That's like his whole thing, and then he just kind of gives up halfway through.
Yeah, Guzma showed up, I think, a little bit, but just the ones they have, they're like, hey, you shouldn't use any of those Z-type moves while we fight you illegally, because that's not cool and against the rule. They also have that shitty Brooklyn accent. I'm not exaggerating.
That's amazing.
Yeah, like I said, the show has made me laugh unironically enough time, so I recommend.
I might actually have to check it out then.
Yeah, check it out a little bit.
I haven't watched it. I just heard things. Isn't there also was that one Beware? Isn't there like Beware and
Beware
Jesus?
is terrifying. Yeah,
it's like is it like trying to protect Team Rocket or something? And
yeah,
it's terrifying.
No, that's what all keeps happening with Team Rocket. I don't want to spoil it too much, but anytime they're like, "Oh yeah, our plan almost worked," Beware just comes, grabs them, and leaves, and it's like the heroes are just like, I guess we win. It's again. I'm gonna give the caveat. It's a kids show for kids. You know, don't expect like it to be as funny as Konosuba, which Tyler's gonna watch, right?
Yeah, totally.
I'll find you.
No, I actually probably will watch it.
Yeah, I 100% still recommend Konosuba, and then like 74% recommend Pokemon Sun and Moon.
I think I've said before, but Konosuba is the reason I actually like comedy anime. I didn't before I watched Konosuba. It wasn't my genre. And then I watched it and I'm like, wait, is there more things like this? There wasn't.
Yeah.
See, we've almost gotten close a couple of times though. Like,
we've had some good stuff. We've had some great stuff.
But you like older anime comedies too, don't you? I guess we're done talking about Pokemon. Let's talk about a deep dive into anime comedies.
We're talking about anime comedy and why most of it's garbage.
Well, because I know. Oh yeah, sorry, Tyler. Go on.
I remember I used to like the first season of Ranma.
Yeah,
Ranma
I mean,
1/2.
I watched it too. I didn't think it was funny. I just thought it was like,
I don't know. It could just be because it was like the first anime I watched, and I was just a kid at the time. So
yeah. I just remember, and I don't know if I should say this in podcast format. Maybe this is inappropriate, but yeah, I remember in school, like back at my old school. One of my friends came up with the manga for Ramna 1/2, and he's like, "Hey, look, this anime, this book has titties in it." He just gave it to me, and then I would read it. I'd put my textbook in front of me, and I would put the book behind the textbook so the teacher couldn't see.
Well,
and then I would just read Ramna 1/2. It was like that and Inuyasha. Those were the first manga I ever read, and that was the only reason I read them, is because my friend said there was titties in them. And he was right, there was.
That there was.
I think I was in like 4th grade or something. It was a long time ago.
Let's see here. Inuyasha is that the other one you mentioned? That's the one with the spirit gun guy, right?
No, that's Yu Yu Hakusho. Inuyasha is the one. It has like, it's like the high school girl who gets sucked into a fantasy world, and there's like a dog spirit with a huge old sword.
For whatever reason, I was
he's a half demon. Yu Yu Hakusho's a half demon. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, he's a just spirit demon, whatever.
I do remember that one. It was the one that the anime just kind of ended before the story.
It was the one where the anime went in circles for 800 years and then nothing happened.
Oh, don't worry. The manga went in circles too.
Oh yeah, it did. That's why I stopped reading it, because it's just nothing fucking happens.
Yeah, for whatever reason, they all happened to in my life around the same time. So I always get like Yu Yu Hakusho, Inuyasha, and I think Tenchi Muyo like all confused.
Yeah, it's that's the Adult Swim block.
Yeah,
because that's what it was for me too. Was Inuyasha, Yu Yu Hakusho to a lesser extent, and then Full Metal not Brotherhood.
It was Toonami. Thank you very much. It wasn't.
No. That was Adult Swim. Inuyasha was on Adult Swim because you had to stay up past 9:30 to watch it. Yu
Yu Hakusho was Toonami though, which is weird. It was. Yeah, I remember because I used to watch it in the middle of the day. That was one of my first anime besides like Pokemon and Digimon. Was Yu Yu Hakusho. That's why I fucking love it so much. But like, I just remember being really weirded out that it was on Toonami and not Adult Swim, because they swear a lot in that show. Like, if you ever watch the English dub, which I recommend because it's amazing, they fucking do not hold back. They're all about it. They don't give a fuck if they swear.
Fair.
So it was like you'd get like that in between like Bobobo, and it would be super off-putting.
Yeah, that's jarring.
Very jarring.
Yeah, like, oh hey, what's the difference? This is the same type of show.
Yeah,
I
miss old Toonami. That was some good. That was some good stuff. But
anyway, comedies. Because I was gonna.
Comedies.
Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask in terms of like older comedies. Tyler, did you recommend me Cromartie High School?
I probably did, because I always recommend Cromartie High School.
Yeah, see, and I can't get into it.
Really?
I tried.
I get that. Like, I love it. I like all the ways that they use animation and intentionally use it in a bad way, but in a way that like is, I don't know, like they make so many like animation like jokes almost in the background, and there's a lot of dumb things in it, like the fact that all the cigarette smoke and stuff is turned to like slime on a stick, and just dumb things they did as part of like a basically censorship.
Yeah, well, and if I remember right, doesn't Cromartie High School start with like the first episode or the first scene is like, hey, here's what's happening. Don't know the story? Read the manga.
Yeah, but you don't really need to read the manga.
I know, it's just to like get the backstory of it, and maybe it's
like they say, if you want to know the backstory, like go, but you really don't need it. In fact, like honestly, the first episode has some pretty great stuff in it. Like the whole he ate my pencil bit, which is fantastic. If you have not seen that, just go into YouTube and search "he ate my pencil" and watch that scene. It is fantastic. But yeah, the whole thing, and this is one of the few animes that had a scene in it later on that genuinely surprised me. I think it's probably just because of how much I enjoyed the show. Like, it might not have shocked other people, but I was like, I didn't see that coming. That's pretty great. So, I highly recommend Kermit to High School. And I get it. It's not for everyone. It's really stupid comedy. It's really stupid comedy.
Yeah.
But
well, and I think that was what, I think kind of to bring it back, I think the difference for like Trey and I was like, I'm just not into gag comedies, I guess, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, just like gag shows. And Konosuba kind of showed me like there's the whole, I'd almost say like it's a subgenre of like character based comedies of you already like, it's less about like, you know, they still do gags and stuff, but it's more about like defining characters and then you see how these characters react. And mostly the characters aren't just punchlines. And Trey can back me up here, but it's like, Konosuba, it's like and I think we've talked about Konosuba at least before on the podcast. And if not, the next example is like Hinamatsuri or last season when I watched Kaguya. It's like, you know, they spend like a couple episodes defining the traits of these characters and like showing how they react in certain situations. And then they keep.
That's what makes him, at least to me, that's what made him funny. And that's what like the comedy in Mob Psycho works too. Because like when you put a character that you know well in a situation that they're not familiar with, it's just like, you just like kind of let it play out and it feels natural. That's what, I don't know. That's what always been my problem with a lot of like anime comedies. Is just like, it's just a lot of jokes just over and over again. And like, and again, I'm not like a anime comedy scholar. I haven't watched a ton of them, but like, cause it wasn't a genre I liked. And I think that was the reason, is because a lot of comedies, at least to me, felt like it was just them just having jokes a lot. Like it was just a lot of jokes over and over again. And then I didn't think that was it wasn't very didn't catch my attention very much.
Yeah. You guys might not like the show. I don't know. Give it a shot maybe, but you do have to make it through the first episode though, which I admit that took me a while. But once I did, I was hooked. But I think my other favorite anime comedy besides Cromartie High School is Magical Shopping Arcade Abanabashi. That show is weird. It has its ups and downs. It actually has a story, although it doesn't really come out until quite a ways through it. But it's a lot of referential humor. So if that's not your thing, like they're making fun of a lot of anime tropes and actually tropes in other types of media as well a bit. Like there's a 2001 Space Odyssey joke in there and stuff like that. There's
sorry.
It's all in like little episodes, but the thing is the first episode is slow and you're not gonna like get what's going on, and then the very last like minute of the episode, like shit just goes crazy and it stays crazy for pretty much the rest of the show. Although it can be a little uncomfortable to watch, I admit, because as we were also talking about earlier, titties, there is a vehicle pretty much made of them in like the second to last episode, I think. I did not see that one coming. Granted, there's also a character who's just called Mune Mune, which I'm pretty sure just is basically saying like bouncy bouncy. So if my Japanese is at all correct, but it definitely is in some way referring to her breasts. So
it might be talking about her personality.
Yeah, her bouncy personality.
Bouncy personality.
Very bubbly person.
Yeah. See, I don't know though. I'm iffy on. You mentioned like referential humor, and I know, Tyler, I showed you this. We talked about it on podcast. We failed to watch it, but Pop Team Epic, I think, kind of did the same thing. But
yeah, it was just a lot of references. I feel like that.
I enjoyed like I watched a little bit of that Pop Team Epic one. And I wasn't into it even like in the beginning. Abanabashi, completely different. Like again, it's one of my favorite shows. And it's weird, but then again, it's also could just be my type of humor, like Cromartie.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess give it like a 2 to 3 episode. Like, give it that like good old anime 3 episode test or whatever.
Yeah,
see if you like it, and if it's not your thing, that's fine. Like, it's
I dig that. We can do, if you will grace us with watching Konosuba, then we'll watch. You'll have to send me how to spell it because I just tried to search for it and I have no idea.
Abenobashi, Abenobashi, I believe.
Okay, I'll find it.
For those of you listening at home, if you want to search it as well. It's
and you should, because it's probably good.
Yeah, we have never made a bad recommendation on this show.
Never
Not
once.
once.
I've never recommended anything to anybody who didn't like them.
I will say Abenobashi is one of the few I would also recommend with dubbing rather than sub. And that's saying a lot for me because I never recommend dubbed anime ever. So it actually helps this one, I think.
You guys just heard that. Tyler Summer says don't watch the Cowboy Bebop dubbed.
God, Tyler, why'd you gotta go and say that?
I'm kidding. We're not doing that.
Yeah, audience, please don't. Please watch it dubbed. Just do yourself a favor.
Yeah, do that. But good. They got some good shows. I could stand to have more comedies again because Kaguya-sama's done, and goddamn was that show funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've been steering the conversation.
No problem.
Tyler, Trey, you guys do anything? Yes.
Got
anything on your chest you want to talk about?
I've got a question for Tyler. I think you watched The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, right? You watched that?
I did.
Okay. Does it get better?
I thought season 2 or the second half of season 1, whatever that is, I think they call it, or part 2, I think they call it. I think part 2 gets better.
Okay, because I don't like... I'm like halfway through season 1, and I'm pretty sure I hate every single character, and I don't understand the appeal. I feel like I'm going crazy, because, like, literally, it's just all people everywhere are talking about how good this show is, and I just can't see it. I just don't see what people like about this show.
I mean, I've actually heard pretty mixed opinions about it, but
okay, I've been seeing a lot of good reviews for it. I just don't understand. I just can't, and that frustrates me because I want to be in the know.
Yeah,
but I don't want to like.
And I know I always fall kind of middle ground. Like I don't tend to have strong opinions either way, which sucks. But
don't worry.
Just Tyler's review. It exists.
Don't worry,
exists.
Tyler.
Yeah, it's
I'll
okay.
Strong enough opinions for the both of us.
But my opinion on the thing is it's a fine show. It's it definitely gets better in the second part. I don't know, some of the weird things it does. I still enjoy all the like ways they twist like the turns of phrases, and I know it's really cheap humor, but you know, all the Hail Satans and unholy shit.
Get in trouble for that.
And
they did.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. That's like, this is literally the only thing I know about Sabrina is like the Church of Satan like actually
they have
because they use their
statue, and that's not their intellectual property.
Yeah, because it turns out the Church of Satan actually like what like trademarked it or registered or whatever. It's a literal copy. It's a copy of the statue that they use. So it's it doesn't really show up as much in part 2.
Mm-hmm. So, I wonder why.
Yeah, I can't imagine why. They did settle out of court. So
they did settle out of court, but also part 2 was still filmed by the time they settled.
Mm-hmm.
It was just in finalizing and editing and stuff. So they wouldn't have had time to redo that. The story actually just writes it out.
Which is good because I don't actually know how big of a claim the Church of Satan had on that statue because they don't own the intellect. They don't own the rights to Baphomet. They didn't invent that. So
it probably would have been an
iffy
legal battle anyway.
Long legal battle because I'm not entirely sure. I mean, again, I'm not a lawyer, so maybe they did have some claim, but like considering how old their deity is, I feel like they don't own it.
Well, the name certainly, but the representation,
that particular statue repretation. I know what they're going they were more. I'm just like, but I would think that Netflix could have made a pretty good case for it being like that like any representation of Baphomet is open source, like basically any open intellectual property is how old it is. But
Yeah.
I'm not a lawyer, so maybe they don't. Maybe that's not true. But anyway, you were saying.
But no, yeah, I think the best thing about the show, the thing that really kept me going, is one of the actresses who I really like in it. She plays like a teacher at the school in the first part.
Is it the one that gets possessed or like gets like take like
early on she gets basically possessed. But that actress is fantastic. She was I first knew her from Doctor Who, where she played the Mistress in Doctor Who, which is a reincarnation of the Master.
Oh, so you're talking about the newer season?
Yeah, the newer season.
The one before.
I think she started with Smith, Matt Smith. But yeah. Anyway. I really like her. She's fantastic, and she kind of kept the show going for me. I'm not going to say too much about her character. She's a big character, though, throughout the entire show. So she's the one who really kind of kept me into it.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if it gets better in the second half, then yeah, I'll probably finish this season and just see how I like it, because I don't want to form an opinion over, because like shows can improve, but
I will admit I wasn't crazy about the end of the first part, but I definitely thought it improved in the second part.
I guess one thing too that I have a problem with, and I don't think this is something they'll probably won't solve, is some of the cinematography just gives me a headache. Some of the cinematography choices in the show just give me a headache, and I don't know if they'll actually be able to solve that one, because they don't. That seems like a very stylistic choice they're going to stick with.
Yeah.
Netflix just has to send you just a bottle of nausea medicine or something.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm talking about, right? Like that they have like this like super focus technique they use whenever like witchy shit's happening. Where like
I might have to watch back to figure out what you're talking about. But
the thing in foreground will be super focused on, but like, and everything else will be really blurry, and that gives me a headache. I have a really hard time, and that happens a lot.
Interesting. All right.
Like, it happens like 10 or more times per episode, and I just have a really hard time like watching that. It actually kind of hurts to watch for me.
Yeah, for me, the biggest issue I have with it is that a lot of the more progressive stuff in the show, which it doesn't feel as progressive. It feels
they kind of beat you over the head with that.
It feels a lot more forced here, but yeah. No, and I get that.
Yeah.
The show's woke, I guess. Is the best.
Oh no.
Yeah,
and I'm all for having a progressive show. I love that. Like, we talked about that in a way, and how it was so perfect and natural in the show.
Yeah. It's fucking, but it's not here.
And it's not
very,
here.
very obviously like. There is so much fucking man hate in this show. It is a kind of incredible. Like it's like, and I didn't want to be like, I'm not like, I don't want to be like, oh my god, I can't believe they made a show not for guys. It's just like, holy shit, guys, there's better ways. There's like, you can do this better. It just feels so.
It's the entire plot of the second.
Oh, is it? Oh
no.
Because like. It's like all like these cannot stop with their like the little quips about how bad men are, and it's just really, really. And it's like, God, this doesn't even fit the scene, guys. Like, why are we doing this?
Just opens door, wakes up in the morning. Boy, howdy, do I hate men? Am I right?
Guys, penises.
I haven't seen
the fucking worst. Yeah. I don't know. I don't.
Well, the thing is, it's not even Sabrina. It's like
no, it's not. It's just it's other characters who are very, very like this is very, very like in your face about it. I think that's the biggest thing is that it's not done in like a way where it fits the narrative. It's done in a way where they like want to look at the camera and like wink and be like, haha, you see what we did there?
They want to make it on the BuzzFeed list of like clap emoji in between names. 10 times Sabrina beat up the patriarchy.
Yeah, because like I honestly don't mind when show like I if a show tries to be progressive, I don't mind it at all, honestly, because like I think like people want representation, and I think that's fair. Like Game of Thrones, for instance, there was I'm not to spoil anything. But there was a scene in the newest episode which I thought was really cool. But that had to do with like women representation in like a fantasy world, and I thought that was really, really cool and very well done. This one, it just feels like they're just saying it just to say it. Like, they're making like the most bare bones statement, and it's telling, not showing, and it's telling you in a really fucking in your face sort of like, haha, we're so fucking woke, guys. Get on
which is weird
level.
because like even other Netflix shows were doing it. Like Dragon Prince had a homosexual couple, and it just was like, oh hey,
it was just there. It was great.
It was just there. They're just there, and it was like it wasn't a big deal. Like,
or even other Netflix shows are great about it, where they're just throwing in all these cool characters that they're like even the like deaf character in Dragon Prince and all that stuff, where it's just
she's just there, and. No, I love that. And then even in a time where like they kind of do call attention to it, you can do it well. I know I talked about it on the podcast before, but Tyler, did you ever get around to watching Genlock?
I have not watched Genlock.
Oh, okay. It's like 8 episodes, and maybe wait to see if season 2 comes out good. I liked it, and I really liked they have a gender fluid character in Genlock.
Yeah, and they did a really good job with that scene.
Yeah, and there's a character, I was just going to say, there's a character who doesn't understand what that means, so they kind of explain it, and the person doesn't immediately be like, oh, wow, that's so awesome. They're like, oh, I don't get it, but okay, good for you.
Yeah, I respect your decisions. And I'm like, that's the most realistic, like, representation of that I've ever seen. And, like, because it's usually either one spectrum or the other. Either they hate it, or it's like, they immediately agree with it. He's just like, I don't understand. But good for you.
Yeah, and they even have, like, things... there's stuff... I don't want to spoil Genlock, but there's, like, then they interact in scenes later, and it kind of comes up, but not really... It's good.
Yeah, and it comes up visually through the storytelling medium that you're using, which is visual. Like, it's like, man, this is how you fucking do it. Or, I mean, even if you have to say it, it's not like you have to always show, don't tell, but, like, you can tell without fucking just, like, slapping you in the head with it over and over. And I don't know, maybe that's a controversial opinion, but I don't like it when shows try and force messages down my throat, especially when I don't feel like it's warranted. Like,
yeah.
Well, and now here's our guest host of another low effort podcast, Jontron and Sargon of Akkad.
Hey, welcome to the show, guys.
Yeah, okay, but really, let's just put it out that I'm not. We're not. We're done with that bit.
Let's talk about minorities for a bit.
And of course, like, we're not the ones to talk about like women's issue, and if the like feminist special is going too far.
Exactly.
And all that
stuff. Like, I'm not a woman, obviously. So I like maybe that is what that's okay. Maybe that's what. Like, maybe that really speaks to that demographic, and like, if so,
and
then
that's
cool.
great.
But as for me personally, I thought it was really ham-fisted and just like not very like, it just didn't make for good,
especially
like, television to me.
When we compare it to other Netflix shows.
Yeah, like when other shows do it better, and then when you do it in this one, it feels like it stands out really bad, like really poorly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, and I haven't watched the show. I can't judge, but. I didn't want to watch it even before that. I don't know.
No, that's fine.
It doesn't seem like it's for me. Yeah.
You don't need to.
Oh, good. Putting it on the list.
It's like I said, it's an okay show. It has parts that are good, and it has parts that I enjoy in it. I
like all the Wicca. Some of the imagery is really cool whenever they do like the Satan-y witch stuff. I think that's really, really cool. So basically, Sabrina is an okay show, and if you like it, that's cool. I don't, though.
And from the sounds of Tyler, it continues to be slightly more okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like
it's good enough that I keep watching it.
Hate part 2, then, if like the parts that I've mentioned already aren't addressed.
Well, that's just your male privilege. I hate myself even just saying that.
Like.
Yeah.
We're not here to think. I'm here to watch anime, all right? And
I'm
sometimes
here to
other
watch
things.
Some good old-fashioned Japanese cartoons. But besides that...
And they have my women the way I like them, as snakes and birds. I have not watched Monster Musume. I
will say, at the very least, Sabrina does feminism better than, like, the Rising of S.H.I.E.L.D. Hero show.
Ooh, yikes. I haven't been watching Rising facing a shield hero.
Oh Lord, that is done so bad. That is so. There are so many problems with that show, and it's just too bad.
So many.
Like, because I read the manga like way before it got popular in the anime scene, and I was just waiting. I've just been waiting, like in my little troll corner, for the internet to just get all up in arms about some of the things in this show.
Like, are the plot points the same in the show?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they're the same. My favorite is the fact that Rephilia is, people are so conflicted on her because she's like 4 years old, but she's an adult.
I hate that. Oh my god.
Yup.
Yeah. So no, they have the line. It's like, oh, so mentally I'm a child, but physically I have the body of a grown woman. And it's like, oh
I want out.
no.
I want out. Well, that's the thing. All of his companions are little girls. Going forward,
they all are.
They all are.
Like,
they're all little girls who were like not even teenagers, and it's so weird. Because like the thing is, like,
one of them is literally less than a year old.
Yeah, I don't think the author had it in his head to make it romantic at all, because he doesn't have it. The character very obviously doesn't have feelings for any of them. Like, he's very obviously against the idea, but like, he has to know how that looks, right? Like, like, why is it all the companions are tiny little children, and also are like scantily clad sometimes, like, or like. Why did the little girl raccoon or squirrel have to turn into an adult? Why did that have to happen?
Yo,
like, that's very weird. Or like the fact that he gets falsely accused of rape, and the internet hopped all up on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that one was because that was like
the very first episode, and that was terrible.
Yeah, like it's just Jesus Christ.
And then like the entire time they like offhandedly mention, oh yeah, this world is like a matriarchy.
Mm-hmm.
And women are the ones who have more power. And then everything in the world shows otherwise.
Yeah, like they say that, and then you never see it ever, not once. It's just it's like you see tons of female slaves all over the place, owned by
that's equal representation.
Like, fat guys.
And all the people in power, are dudes. So it's like,
what matriarchy is this? Like where?
God
or like the fact that this whole harem scenario, most of his companions are slaves. Like, Raphaelia is a slave. Like, she can say otherwise, but she is. Like, she's a slave.
Well, the other one, there's like the
bird?
like, bird girl who decided to make herself
into a slave. And it's just like, oh my god, the more you think about it, the worse it gets. It's
such a terrible show.
People love that show, though.
And also this show. People love it, and I just cannot. I don't get it. It's just there's so many decisions in this show that just do not work. It's just don't touch. Don't author, please. Why are you doing this?
Yeah. No, that show confused me. Also,
I was just gonna say it has like some of the elements of a good show beneath it.
Oh yeah, I enjoy.
If he were to just make certain decisions differently, it would be a good show.
There's some good things. I like the whole idea of him having shields instead of like actual weapons. I think that's cool. I think he as a character is actually not a bad protagonist. Like, he just hates the world all the time, and I think that's kind of interesting. I don't like. At first, I liked like everybody being like a cartoon bad guy. I thought that was kind of fun. It kind of wore on me after a while. But like, if he just didn't like, I don't know what possessed the author to make some of these decisions. It's just like he had a good show, and he was like, I wonder how I can just make it weird for everyone all the time.
Yeah.
What about the same thing, but where I don't know. I never get how some of the shows that get popular are the ones that are popular. I was going to say, also, that show got 24 episodes from last season.
It's still airing.
It's still airing.
It just confuses the absolute hell out of me. It's just like, I mean, maybe it's because it came right off the back of Goblin Slayer, and like all of that crowd were like just itching for something else in that sphere.
Yeah, all like the fantasy genre
it's okay
people.
If goblins rape women.
Oh god, we're not bringing up that
that's
show. Yeah, I don't want to. I didn't I mean, again, my maybe this is the hot take on Goblin Slayer. I just don't think Goblin Slayer is a good show. Like that scene, I watched a couple episodes. And I hate people. There's people who love the fact the writer did this, but I hate that his characters are named Human Priestess, High Elf Archer. It's like no, that's lazy. I'm sorry.
I don't care about that so much. Okay, well, my thing on Goblin Slayer,
if it has a purpose behind it. But does it have a purpose behind it? In that show?
Not really. It's just he just wanted to make it like seem like generic NPC kind of thing. I don't know. I have like mixed feelings in like the beginning of Goblin Slayer because I kind of like the idea of like a guy who just spends all his time killing one thing and he gets really good at it.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cool idea, and I thought some of the execution was cool.
Concept if the first episode wasn't atrocious.
Yeah, and like. Yeah, if it wasn't so shock value-y, like, not good. And then, like, and then you have, like, but, like, I think the idea is cool. I just wish it gets really generic after a bit. And, like, I don't know. I wasn't super into it. And, like,
I couldn't make it through the first episode.
Yeah, no, that is one thing. Because, like, it was like that in the manga, but it's also a manga where it's, like, 2 pages. You can just flip right through it. Like,
yeah,
I really don't understand why the anime decided to linger on that so much. Like, other than shock value, like I think they knew it was going to be divisive, and so they leaned into it because they knew. It's like some people would be really turned off by that, and some people would be like, "Wow, this is very different."
And some people are way too turned on by that.
Like, I think the majority of people who like it probably were like, "This is very different from the average show." They're not afraid to like show you things. And I think I kind of understand that, I guess. I don't think it was worth it, personally, but...
Yeah. Again, it's not for me. I don't want to dig into it. It's kind of old news now. People probably even forgot Goblin Slayer's come out at this point.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be a good chance for me to segue into a little...
something about
that's
trash.
making a return.
Yeah.
Yeah, talking about that, I mentioned earlier, so I don't know if we're going to do positive challenges. I think we can just recommend each other, because it's hard to do a challenge with 3 people of like, oh, hey, and I mean, like to find 3 things that we, know the others haven't watched or something, and we can just recommend good things at this point, and we know what the others like. However, it's very easy for me, Daniel James Earl Esquire, to create a list of garbage that I found through a variety of media. And so, I don't know, Tyler, put in a little vocal effect, give me like a little 80s synth backing on this. We're going to call this section Dan's Dumpster Fire.
I was actually going to write you a little theme song for it, so we'll see how that turns out if I do that this weekend.
Okay. I want to hear that.
I like that. There's your clip.
Dan's Dumpster Fire.
Yeah, then maybe everybody else. Can we get like the news with Trey segment comes in? It's just like this is
I was like,
news with Trey.
No.
It has to be you just making the noises.
And at the very end, it's me saying "fuck" when my window thing fell down.
Yeah, hang on, I'll find it. I think I have that somewhere.
Just got passed, and that's gonna affect a lot of what the fuck.
But I'll edit this back, and we can all get little music segments out. Tyler, you're the best. If you want to, if not,
that means I need to make it for myself too.
But yeah, you can do one for
Tyler's game workshop.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to Dan's Dumpster Fire. So what I have done is using the power of computers and technology, I have typed a Word document and put numbers in front of the things on that Word document, and then using the power of Discord. Sponsor us, Discord, by the way. We love your service. We're using it right now. Yeah. But I used Discord to have Tyler, because he was in the call, and I was he was in our little like chat room, and I was very wasted. I was like, hey, let's pick bad shows to watch, guys. So Tyler picked 3 numbers at random, had no idea what the numbers could be, and it assigned a nice, probably maybe bad show for us all to watch, and we'll come back to it at a later date,
Yeah.
So if we want to go down,
say what those shows are? Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to go down the list. Let me start. Tyler picked, and this was number... I don't have the chat open.
It doesn't matter. It was a number.
Yeah, it's important that people have to know I didn't just make up the numbers.
It was somewhere between 1 and 12.
Yeah. Tyler picked number 4, which is an old favorite of the show's. Big Mouth Season 2. He doesn't have to watch Season 1 at all. But Tyler gets to watch Big Mouth Season 2, which we know how Trey feels about. Yeah. I can't bother to watch it too. We were talking about comedies and different tastes. Maybe Tyler... Maybe this
you get
is
to
yours.
hear
maybe Tyler will like it. A lot of people like Big Mouth.
You get to hear my lukewarm take on it, like all my takes.
Your middling review on it.
Yeah.
I liked it. There were parts I didn't like, but overall it was fine.
Yup.
Yeah. Call it all right. The next one, Tyler picked for me, yours truly, Daniel James Earl. Number 10, which was on my list as, I don't remember the name, but it says Brickleberry with Cops. Which I think is Paradise PD is what it's actually called.
Yeah,
okay.
I think so, yeah.
So Paradise PD is on the list. I get to watch it. I think
I've watched that.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll be like actually bad, but if it's
I think you won't. I don't think you'll like it. I'm just knowing what you like. Maybe there'll be episodes you don't hate, but it's not good.
Yeah, my kind of thing is I think I'm going into it with this mindset of I am just expecting it to be Brickleberry, but like, and I didn't. Brickleberry I watched, mind you. I don't think I loved it, but yeah. Anyway,
I don't know what Brickleberry is.
It's like Paradise PD, but they're park rangers.
Great, that really helps. Thanks.
Yeah.
Do you know who Daniel Tosh is?
Yes.
Okay, he made that.
Okay.
show.
Yeah, and not only did he
So
make it.
if you watch Tosh.0, you'll know.
I don't
know
love
what to
his
expect.
type of humor, so okay.
Yeah,
Great.
you get to hear the voice of SpongeBob scream, "Ah, my ball sack!" Like once every couple of episodes.
That is fantastic. He's in both series, and it's just the fact that it's just if you just imagine it's SpongeBob saying all these things.
Yeah, Tom Kenny just
it
being
just makes
Tom
it
Kenny.
Yeah, it's actually fantastic.
Yeah. But last, and this is honestly my favorite because I wanted somebody to get this show.
I'm happy about this one.
Yeah, Tyler picked for number 7 for Trey a show. It's called Super Drags, a Netflix original. It's a Brazilian animated series that I best describe as it's like if the Powerpuff Girls were drag queens but bad.
Yeah, it's apparently voiced by people off of RuPaul's Drag Race, though.
Drag Race.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah,
I've never watched that.
it's
but
fun.
I've heard good things.
Yeah, I like
I
watching
know
it.
so many people who are obsessed with
Hey,
RuPaul. It's just-
at least this is short. So.
Yeah, at least like it's so Trey's I think is only about 5 episodes. Tyler's is about 12, but
Yup.
he can do it. I think mine is like 10. So I tried to make them about equal length too. I don't want to. Maybe I might edit the list later, but I don't want to give away too many spoilers. What was on it? I was really hoping the number one thing I put on the list was Amy Schumer's new stand-up special.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, at least we avoided that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, not for me, not for anybody.
Nope.
Yeah. Not for. Anyone.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's what I got.
That
So
about wraps us up. I think.
that's the dumpster fire. You come back and see
Yeah.
if we put it out.
I can't wait.
And we will have to decide what's an appropriate punishment if someone fails the dumpster fire.
Never again.
Never again.
Never
Yeah,
again.
I mean, there's
again.
only so many Kevin James movies.
Never again. I've learned my lesson.
That's goddamn right. But either way, I mean, is that it? Does that make it an episode?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Get out of my car.
Yeah. See you, dumpster goblins.
Fucking goblins. Get out of here.
Yeah. That's my sign off. I'm so goddamn tired.